Today we're ranking the attachment styles from most to least trusting. I'm Jess, one of the co-founders of So Synced. So the way we trust or don't trust is massively shaped by our attachment style, more than anything else. And you do see really big differences between each one. And trust is quite complicated for each attachment style, and I'll explain the nuances. Before I start, your attachment style is not a life sentence. It can change, and that's exactly what I do in my one-to-one work with clients. If you're interested, please sign up to our So Synced newsletter. The link is in the description box below. So let's dive in. And we're going from the most trusting to the least trusting. Number 1 is secure. First up, we have secure as the most trusting. And while they're first, it doesn't mean that they trust blindly. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Securely attached people don't trust super easily, but they also don't have walls up. Their trust in someone builds gradually over time based on evidence they observe. So they will see how someone acts in different situations, and if they see proof that this person follows their word, trust will naturally build for them. And they're not thinking about this consciously. They aren't sitting there thinking, well, now they've texted back quickly 3 times, now I can trust them. It's not like they've got some checklist on the notes in their phone. It's just a natural, unconscious process for them. They do in general give people the benefit of the doubt, but like I said, they don't trust blindly. They just assume good intentions unless there's a real reason not to. Their early experiences taught them that people are generally reliable, and so they enter into relationships with an open heart, but also with healthy discernment.
A quick heads up, if you're anxiously attached, this next part is for you. If you constantly overthink, spiral, second guess yourself, we've got something that can help. It's called the Self-Trust Blueprint. It's our 3-step framework to go from anxious to secure in life and love without years of therapy or guesswork. And we're giving it away for free, for a limited time. And honestly, I'm super passionate about it because I've seen it change so many lives. It's the exact framework I used myself to become securely attached, and my life is so much better for it. We've helped over 5,000 people find love through So Synced. Our work has been featured in Forbes, Cosmopolitan, the New York Times, and many more. And we've spent years refining the exact tools you'll find inside this blueprint. So if you're ready to go from spiraling to secure, sign up via the link in the description box to get it while it's still available.
Number 2, anxious. And this one can be a little tricky. On the surface, they seem very trusting, almost a little too trusting in some situations. They tend to open up quickly, attach fast, and share a lot of personal details early on. But for people who are anxiously attached, this is coming from a place of quick, let's build connection, not real trust. There are also other reasons why they share a lot early on, but I won't go into them right now. Anyway, when they do this, it's not really about trusting the other person. It's more about trying to create a sense of closeness so they feel safe. Anxiously attached people rely more heavily on others, and not knowing if someone is going to be there for them is really scary. So they try to build closeness quickly so they can feel like someone is there for them. Real trust takes time to build. But for those who are anxiously attached, they don't want to be waiting around in the unknown because uncertainty is very uncomfortable for them. And it's also a big fear. So another way that distrust shows up for anxiously attached people is through things like going through their partner's phone or constantly checking their social media or doubting that they are where they say they are. It often shows up a lot in day-to-day moments. Number 3 is dismissive avoidant. So people with a dismissive avoidant attachment style tend to be self-contained. They naturally don't rely much on other people. And that does come from a place of distrust that has been conditioned into them by past experiences, often from when they were a child. They've learned that it isn't safe to trust people to meet their needs. Trusting others was never modeled as safe or dependable for them. But their lack of trust isn't loud. It's understated and low-key. It's wrapped up in their independence. They generally aren't thinking, oh, this person betrayed me, or oh, they can't be trusted. It's all very much an unconscious process. They don't sit around distrusting people. They just don't really bother trusting in the first place. But yes, ultimately distrust is wired into them, which is why they don't rely on others very much at all. Number 4, fearful avoidant. So the least trusting attachment style is fearful avoidant. And on the surface, this can be hard to believe, especially in the early dating phase. Out of all the attachment styles, fearful avoidants have the most complex relationship with trust. So they want closeness so badly. They actually might open up fast, overshare, and seem deeply connected, and actually be deeply connected in that moment. But underneath is a deep fear of betrayal and abandonment. They really want intimacy, but they also really fear it. So for them, trust feels dangerous. It was probably violated in some way in the past. Perhaps it was someone who was supposed to protect them. And it's not always major, obvious violations of trust. It might be that a caregiver was absent a lot. But when this happened to them as a child, it felt unsafe. And they developed this deeply ingrained belief that they can't trust people. Or sometimes it's something traumatic that happened to them as an adult that caused it. And sometimes seemingly small things can break trust for a fearful avoidant. It might be that someone cancels a date and they might think, well, if I can't trust them to show up for a date, how can I trust them with anything? That's obviously not all fearful avoidance. Everyone has different triggers, but that is a real example. And trust usually breaks very quickly with them too. One thing and it can be completely over, because betrayal is one of their biggest triggers. They might trust someone one day and doubt them the next. So yes, that's our ranking of attachment styles from most to least trusting. Trust is something I find super fascinating in dating and relationships because it's not black and white. It's not about giving it or withholding it. It's about finding that balance and learning how to share it wisely. Think of it like building block by block a wall. One honest conversation, one followed through promise, one moment where they stand up for you. If you give it too fast, you can end up getting hurt. But if you never give it at all, you won't build real connections. Let me know in the comments your experience with trust in dating. I'd love to hear it.